It's working here. There we go. Okay, CleverRx. So simply, it's a prescription savings card. It's not a new concept here. We all know these. We know the names of their competitors, but CleverRx is kind of unique, and you'll see that throughout the presentation. But it is a prescription savings card. Hopefully, you can save up to 80%. You can save up to 80% on prescription drugs through CleverRx. It is also something that is not, if you know how prescription drug saving card work, it's not an insurance product. It does not even work with insurance. It works instead of insurance. And we'll kind of explain that a little bit more as we go throughout, but most people know how these things work, but that's what CleverRx is.
Yeah, I always like to remind agents that it's not going to be that credible drug coverage like their Part D is, but this is another great step of the appointment process. You're setting them up with their Part D. Also kind of educate them about prescription drug discount programs such as CleverRx here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is available with it is available nationwide in about 80,000 different pharmacies. Now, I haven't got an updated number on that. It might be even more by now, but last I heard it's around 80,000 pharmacies nationwide. So it should be available just about anywhere, especially those bigger name pharmacies. So definitely available. It's nothing that it's a sort of newer product. It's newer than some of the competitors, but it's been around long enough that people should know the names of it.
And the nice thing is the pharmacies are going to be familiar with the process. If like a GoodRx or a Needy Meds, they already know how these programs work. So with the kind of information that you hand them with a Clever card or the app that we'll get into, they would know the process and be able to take care of this for you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Becky is asking, is there a presentation? If you can't see the screen, we should have a presentation showing up here. If you can't see us, let us know in that box. It should be showing, but thanks, Becky, for calling that out. If you can't see it, let us know. Again, we'll try to get something fixed there, but we should have a presentation up that you can see. Let's see. Okay.
Aaron can't see it either.
Can't see it. Presentation is showing only a blue screen. Okay, let's see. What about now? We just got a new computer. There we go. Yeah, okay, we just got a new computer, so we're trying to work with this. And okay, awesome. Thank you all so much. Sorry about that. So basically just says everything that we've already said here. Prescription drug savings card. We got it. We're moving on here. Why specifically CleverRx? Clayton, if you have anything you want to add on here?
Definitely. So many reasons why for you pick CleverRx instead of one of the competitor programs. One, it's going to be branded with your agency's information. So if you've got an agency name you like to go by, or if your clients really just refer to you as Sadie, and they want to make sure that they're working with Sadie on all their different insurance needs, CleverRx can be branded with that. So say like CleverRx brought to you with Sadie. And so that's a really nice way to market yourself and just kind of keep reminding the clients of who's helping them out with this, especially when they start seeing those drug savings come in every month when they're going to fill their normal prescriptions. It's really nice to keep your name attached to those savings for them, or your agency name there. But the compensation will kind of vary depending on your agency setup, and we can definitely get into that with you on the individual basis, kind of look at how your agency's set up and how we can get that compensation levels there. But you do get compensated every time someone fills a script using the app. So they can fill 3 or 4 scripts that day. You're going to get paid 3 or 4 times that day. So it's a really nice program. Definitely not something that's going to make you a millionaire, but it's a nice way to show your clients that value, something completely free for them and completely free for you to get set up with, where you'll be able to keep working with those clients, maybe take them out for a client appreciation lunch or throw a nice little pizza party for the office, however you like to spend those funds there.
Yes, absolutely. Keep that in mind. This isn't something that's going to make you rich, but it is nice to have a little bit of that compensation there. And it's most definitely a value to your agency. It's kind of like in the way that like a DVH plan, that's also not going to make you a millionaire either, but it's about that loyalty. It's about having those policies. This isn't a policy, but having something that you can offer. The more that you have and the more that they take that, your clients that is, the more that they're going to be loyal to you. So this is just another way, and especially with prescription drugs, I mean, we all know how expensive prescription drugs can get. And whenever these seniors are taking multiple and they're taking a lot, something like this can be actually like life-changing.
Right.
And also, it's not just for seniors. That's something that we haven't mentioned here.
Yes.
CleverRx is something that not just seniors can use. This is a product that their families can use, anyone of any age for any prescription drug, because it's not an insurance product. It can even be used for pet meds. It can be used with vets as well. So that's something that's important to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely. And so if you have other lines of insurance, like she was mentioned, like a PNC client that you work with, make sure they know about this program as well. Because that's something like DVH that clients don't necessarily will ask you about. It's more on you as the agent to advise them that, hey, this is part of the process. You need to be checking this as well when you're doing your prescriptions or filling those prescriptions. Is here's your insurance card, here's your CleverRx card. Go see which one will save you the most money.
Yeah.
And we do want to kind of bring up that there are the competitors out there like GoodRx and Needy Meds that sometimes will come up more competitive or come up with a better price than CleverRx. And we 1000% want you to make sure if it pops up there, go use that. Save the client money however you want, but this is the good starting point. This is kind of to teach them about that. And you always want to make sure that you're marketing yourself as that advisor to be able to help the clients out. You want them to know about the process of what they need to do to take care of it. Because like I said, they don't know that these programs are available half the time, or they're not checking. So you want to make it as easy as possible, and we'll kind of go into how these programs work a little bit more, but you want to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to save them as much money as possible and keep your name in front of them over and over and over. So even if it goes over to a GoodRx or a Needy Meds, they remember, let's say Sadie reminded them of CleverRx and to check these programs, because you could be saving them money, and even though it's not attached to you, that feeling's going to stick with that client that they know you had their best interest in front of them. So.
Most definitely. And if you know how these work, you know that there's no risk involved. There's no cost or anything like that. You're literally just telling your client, hey, check this to see if you can save. So like he said, CleverRx does claim they beat the competitor's price 70% of the time. But in that 30%, if a competitor has a better savings, by all means, please use that. We're at the end of the day, we're here to serve our clients. But CleverRx is said to beat it 70% of the time. And like we said, there's more benefits to it as well than using others. One of those is that unlike the competitors, CleverRx does not go directly to clients.
Great point.
So it will only go through brokerages and agents and people like that. It will never go straight to clients. So I don't think you'll be seeing like TV commercials or anything like that where your clients can see and be like, oh, I'm going to go get set up with that. They can only get set up with you through that. And that's another reason why you can get compensated for that.
And a big thing that I even made a highlighter note here, because I was wanting to make sure we brought this up, as the programs are necessary. Yes. You want to check. Yes. But 37% of people who are prescribed a medication don't end up taking it because it is too expensive. So you want to be able to say, hey, let's try this. Let's see if we can get that medication, because it's really important. If the doctor's prescribing to you, kind of need to be taking it. So here's another route that we can assist you with that.
Most definitely. And this isn't based in fact or anything. This might be just like an assumption, but think of like the year that we had with COVID. A lot of people weren't going to the doctor. Some people haven't even made it back to the doctor, specifically talking about the seniors here. Or they went to the doctor and their health condition got worse because they didn't go to the doctor throughout 2020. So they're taking extra meds. Some people might have, like I said, I haven't done any research on this or anything, but we are seeing that people are getting sicker because they skip the doctor's visits. Then there might be an even higher need for savings on the prescription drugs because there might be more. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So, and like we said, there's no risk to this.
No apps, no nothing.
Yes, exactly. You'll see throughout this, even the people that use your member ID, which we'll talk about in just a second, people who are using CleverRx through you, they're basically just a number in the system. They barely have to put in any information to use this. You really, as the agent, you really don't even have to put in that information. It's not contracting. You literally just get set up with it. It's very easy. We'll go over that soon. But there's no risk. There's no cost to it. There is one thing that is a very optional cost and it's very affordable, but you don't have to do that, and that's cards, and we'll talk about that again in just a second. But there is virtually no risk to CleverRx.
Right. And that's kind of what we wanted to get into next, is that how it works and how this program is given to the clients. So when we get you set up with it, you'll have the app on your phone. So that's one easy way. I've got mine saved here. I can probably open it up and show you in like 3 seconds here. Let's see. work, CleverRx, and bam, we're loaded up. So I can start searching the medications that I know I take on a regular basis. I've got a few of my wife's in here as well. But just that quick search on my phone, boom, I'm going to the pharmacy. There's no thought about it. I just check that. Another great option for the clients who maybe aren't as tech savvy, we're working with a lot of seniors. They might have a flip phone, but they might not have a smartphone where that's an easy thing for them to grab. So there is a card option. It's a really nice, like, solid business card where you can order, I believe 1,000 of them cost about $40, but they have options to order more, order less. So that's kind of like the base option that I see a lot of our agents using, because 1,000 cards for $40 isn't a huge investment, and you can hand them out like candy. Since it's not technically an insurance product, don't have to be licensed, you don't have to worry about where that card will end up. If somebody's saving money, 3 states away from you because they found the card on the ground, no harm, no foul. That person's saving money and you help them do that. And another way is just on their website. It's a very easy thing. You can either pop over to Google right now, type in cleverrx.com/senior marketing specialist, and you can see ours. But it's a very easy website that's got the same exact search tools as the app does, but it's just all in a browser. So that's something on the appointment. I know a lot of the agents I talk to pull it up on the appointment. They're going on their computer, finding away on the apps, and they'll walk them through step by step on the website of, okay, go to this website, search your drug in here. You can see if you can find that coupon, and then you can either print the coupon there. If it's on your phone, you can save the coupon. So when you get to the pharmacy, you just show them that the CleverRx deal and see if you can save money that way. Because typically with the ways this is used the most is with reoccurring drugs. So okay, I pay about $17 for that. But prices change quite a bit. So checking this every time you go to fill is always a good option. The phone is the easiest way by far, but the card is just as easy because you hand them 2 cards and say, let me know the price of both of these. And that's it. You just see if they can save money.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like I said earlier, I mentioned something called a member ID. Whenever you get set up, you will have a unique member ID and a member group ID tied to your account. Basically, anybody who uses this card, whether it be the app, the website, or the actual card, anyone who saves money using your member and group IDs, it's connected back to your account, and that's how you can track how much people are saving, and that's how you get compensated. So it doesn't actually matter. You have these 3 different ways, but it doesn't actually matter how the pharmacist gets those member IDs in that group ID. They just need it, and that's how they can tie it back to you. So you have that app, you have the card, or you have the website, and you can find those coupons on there, on the app and the website, and then you just present those member IDs and those group IDs, or the app or the card, to the pharmacist, and that's how you get set up. That's how that works. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and ordering the cards is super easy. It's definitely something I would recommend, so you have them on hand. But if you see someone with a smartphone, you can text them the app. It's super easy. But we can always help you out with that once we get you set up as the ordering. Even if you want to tie in that website to your signature line and say, need help with prescription drugs, check here. There's no regulations that way of tying in that website, put it on your social media. So that website is one that you can just use for appointments, use for emails, use for your social media. It's a great, easy way to keep promoting that to your clients there.
And Aaron asks, are we able to leave these pharmacy information at the counter? So yes, most of the time pharmacists will take this, whether this be with CleverRx or other prescription drug saving card, they will store that information. So they'll have that on file. And then whenever you go to the pharmacist, I think it works something along the lines of, like, do you want to look at these cards, or do you want to use your insurance? You kind of have that option there, because your insurance might save you more money than this, or this might save you more money. It just kind of depends. So that information will be stored at the counter, so you won't have to keep doing that over and over again, I believe, especially if you go to the same pharmacy.
And also, I think a good point here that Aaron's might be asking about is with leaving the cards behind with the pharmacist. So like if you're talking to them and networking with them, this is a great way to say, hey, I'll let my clients know they can come to this pharmacy, since we're in the CleverRx network, and leave that behind. Drive business to them to go see if they can save money. And if they don't have the card or phone, or they forget it, they can grab a card right there and check. Or if they're one of those 37% of people who can't afford that medicine, well, but hey, before you leave, let's check this real quick. And that's a great way to keep business for the pharmacy and network for them. It's going to work out for both sides. So I think that's a really good point to bring up as well.
Alrighty, so now let's talk about how you as an agent can get set up with CleverRx. You're convinced. First thing you want to do is give senior marketing specialist a call. Give us a call. We'll connect you to our agent outreach team, and Clayton here, and we'll even do the first part of the registration for you. We don't call it contracting. It's not called contracting or anything like that. We call it registration because it's really that easy. We don't even ask you that many questions. There's not too much information tied to it.
Right. I can usually knock it out with agents on the phone in about 2-3 minutes tops.
Perfect.
We'll rip through it. It's name, email, what you want it to look like as far as cleverrx.com/ whatever you choose there, and then some mailing address stuff, and we're done.
Yeah, so it really is that easy. That's the first part of that registration. They'll do it for you, literally, like he just said. After, I think it's within 24 hours, you receive that welcome email. That welcome email is going to have your member ID and your group ID. So then you can kind of start giving that out, I think, and then start using
right away.
it. Yeah.
Usually I see that welcome letter come in definitely within 24 to 48 hours, and you're ready to go. So if you have an appointment coming up on Friday, I would guarantee if I set you up today that we'll have that welcome email in there before then. You can start using it right away.
Now, the next email that you'll receive, you won't receive right away. You'll receive a DocuSign email whenever you reach a $50 compensation threshold.
Gotcha.
I was like, what's the word? Compensation threshold. So once you have earned $50 throughout the savings that people have been saving through your prescription card, through your member IDs, then you'll receive a DocuSign email. I believe that's very similar to other carriers as well. You'll receive a DocuSign email and fill that out, and then you're good to go from there. Then you can get paid. Yeah,
when we originally set this up, I always mentioned that the default method when we do set it up initially is through a paper check. That DocuSign that she's talking about is when you can set up the EFT. So if you want a direct deposit. But we'll get a good address on file to mail those checks to. So just in case that DocuSign comes and goes and you did sign it but forgot to do the EFT, you're still going to get that check in the mail.
Perfect. Awesome. So that's how you get set up. It really is just as simple as what we just explained. There's no strings attached or anything like that. And that's one reason why we love this product, and that's why we push it. It's very easy for you, even easier for your clients and people who use it. So now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into these 3 different options that you have. You have that personalized app, you have those cards, and you have that website. So you want to take it away?
I got it. So I kind of showed you guys just quickly on my phone of how easy it was to pull up the personalized app here. So that's the first one. Basically, it is 2 tabs on the bottom. There's ones that's your saved cabinet. I think it used to be called, I don't think they refer to that anymore, but it's your saved drugs and then your recent searches. So you'll be able to go, if there's that reoccurring one that you do monthly, just pop over to the recent searches, fire off a new search, because it is something that's crazy how often prescriptions change the cost. Usually only fluctuates a little bit, but I do run into that all the time with my wife's meds. She'll one month pay $11, the next month it's $14, and then randomly it'd be like $21. And she just gets infuriated and calls the insurance company and just goes full send on it.
Sure.
But with CleverRx, she can search every time, see what's going to be the cheapest, and fill that script there. Knowing that it's going to be around a certain cost. Definitely a quick way to do it, but you type in the drug there, they'll ask you a couple questions about dosage, or if there's a capsule or like a actual pill. There'll be a few options you can select so you can make sure it's actually the drug that you're looking for. Now, the personalized cards are very simple. Like I said, it's a solid business card there, but it will have your group number, your member ID on it, everything the pharmacist would need to be able to run that, and they're going to be familiarized with that process. I'll say a question here real quick. Shows one price, one to the Walmart. So they should be honoring the price. The question was that when they looked on the phone app, it showed one price, went to Walmart, they had a higher price. So to get that voucher, you can use it on the app if that's how you're using it and have that code right there. Or if you printed that card, take that coupon to them, because CleverRx, they should be honoring that price that CleverRx shows, which is something we run into with a lot of the competitors we hear. Well, GoodRx said it was $8, we got there and it was actually $12. So CleverRx should be honoring that price. And if you ever run into that or have clients that run into that, give us a call. We'll run it up the flagpole, make sure that that's getting taken care of, because that shouldn't be happening with CleverRx.
Or even on the app and on the cards you see, it has that pharmacist helpline, that customer helpline actually. You can call that yourself and you can talk about that directly to CleverRx as well. That is a problem that CleverRx actually says shouldn't be happening. So hopefully that's a case that doesn't happen very often. We don't hear complaints about that too much, even whenever we hear complaints about that because of the competitors. So yeah, you should be able to just call that customer helpline and get that problem. Most likely, I would assume that it's probably more of an issue, not with CleverRx, but with the pharmacy. So go ahead and hopefully that doesn't come up too often, but call that customer helpline as well. Let's see, on the bottom of the app, you can show the pharmacy, the contract as well. Okay, so there's that as well. Thanks, Aaron, for that. And is there a list of participating pharmacies anywhere?
So I don't know if necessarily a list, but when you do search that, you can expand your search out quite a few miles. So if, say, the nearest pharmacies to you is like 15 miles away, you can do a search of 30 miles and it'll show you all of the accepting ones and kind of rank them in price. So you'll see, you know, your Walgreens, your Walmart, then maybe a couple mom and pop ones, and then down the road just kind of keeps going down. So you can kind of see who accepts it. That way is kind of the easiest way I would think of. But we can always search. The website's a good way to kind of search a few zip codes of clients you're working with and see what's available in their area. Which kind of brings me back to the personal website is the next one. You'll see here, looks like the exact same card, and there's actually an option on the very bottom there to print the card. So if you don't end up purchasing cards, because most of your clients use smartphones, or you just don't purchase them because you want to hold off and make sure this program is working first. When you go to that appointment, you can print off this there, have it in your binder that you bring with you to that appointment, and hand them the actual piece of paper for it. And that would work just the same as the cards do. They can search that and print off the coupon directly off the website as well. So if you want to print them a card and print them that first time coupon of one that they're going to go fill tomorrow, I would highly suggest doing that all in that first appointment when you're signing them up with their PDPs, whatever product you're following up on. Also make sure that they know that this discount program is available and hand them that piece of paper right then.
Now, whenever you, just to make it clear, the only thing that costs money here are those printout cards. They're in that middle. That's the only thing, and they're optional. Whenever you get set up, you already have access to that personal app. You already have access to that personal website. Those are things that come with it. So the only other thing that is optional are those personal cards, and it's a very affordable cost, as we've already covered there. Now, one cool feature on that website is that drug lookup. We'll go here, which is just,
there it is.
yeah. There you go. Really easy to use. It's kind of simple. I think we all know how these drug lookups work. It's also a really cool value add to your website. If you link your CleverRx website to your website, they can go from your agency website to in seconds looking up drugs. So that's a really cool thing that you could add to your website as well. Really easy, simple, kind of like what you just said.
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, here's the drug lookup name. You put in if it's a generic or what's the other word? Not generic.
Name brand.
Name brand.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is. What kind of form, dosage, all that stuff. There's the coupon there on the bottom left. And with the drug lookup tool, that's kind of that rankings I was talking about on the side of like Mizzou Pharmacy is a local one here, but then you got your Gerbs and your Walmart, and there's plenty more below that, but they're obviously going to show you the top few options, and you can click and keep looking. So if there's a pharmacy that you like to give your business to, and maybe this is still cheaper, but not the cheapest, you can still use that coupon there. It's not going to be like you only pick the cheapest one.
Yeah, and I know on the app you can even set your preferred pharmacy as well. So if you are friends with someone who own a mom and pop pharmacy and that's really the only one that you want to use, but you still kind of want to compare prices, you can set that as your preferred pharmacy so that one shows up first every time and tells you the price for that pharmacy as well. I don't think you can do it necessarily right here, but I know on the app you can do that.
Yeah, the website's definitely much more general, where the app's going to be personalized with your saved searches, your preferred pharmacies, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a good option for those of your clients that don't have smartphones. So yeah. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about more of the agent-facing side. We're going to talk about that partner portal. Again, this is not client-facing. This is kind of your back-end website. Tracks a lot of things. You can set up your downlines here. It's called the partner portal. You'll get set up with that after you get registered and all that good stuff. Now, on here, like I said, it's agent facing. It's going to track growth. It's going to track savings. You can add your downlines here, and you can even find marketing materials, which we'll talk about next.
Yeah, those are great.
But as you can see right here, that performance, it shows your claim revenue, your number of claims, and your amounts saved. Now, I do just want to make a little note here. This is HIPAA compliant. So you can see how many people are using your group and member IDs. You can see how many people are saving through your CleverRx. You can see how much is being saved through your CleverRx, but you're not going to have any of your clients' information on there. You don't know who is using it. We did get questions about that last time. Rest assured, it is HIPAA compliant there. No worries on that. You just see numbers basically. Now one spot under there, that partner performance, that's where you will see if you set up any downlines under you on that CleverRx account, you'll be able to see their performance there. So you can see their name, obviously, and you can see the number of claims and how much savings they're bringing in as well, which is pretty cool. Also, you can set up your downlines here on there, and you can set up your commission levels for your downlines. That's not something Senior Marketing Specialist does. That's something you do through your partner portal. So keep that in mind as well.
Right. Yeah, you're allowed to set up any dollar amount that you want underneath the level that you're set up at. And if you want this just to be kind of a bonus or incentive program, you can say, hey, if I see so many drugs filled, then we'll get you a $20 bonus or something like that. Completely up to you how you set up the downlines. Get a lot of customization here.
Now, another little side note here is in order to, what's the word I want to say, be set up with CleverRx as a downline, your downlines don't have to be licensed agents. Right. So if you have admin staff that like during AEP, you want to get set up as downlines and they can start handing out these cards with their names on it, you can do that. They don't have to be, it's not an insurance product, so you don't have to be a licensed agent.
Yeah, a lot of agents I know I talked to have their admin kind of reach out to their clients prior, get those updated drug lists. Great time to start plugging in that CleverRx.
Yeah, definitely.
Get them signed up on that, text them the app, however they want to do that, or just send them, say, I'll send you an email with this drug lookup tool, but Sadie can get into that more at the appointment. So definitely a nice little like precursor to the appointment of, hey, we're going to take care of this side for you as well, something that they had no clue about. They're not going to get charged a dime for. So it's just really going to show your value as the agent there for them.
Definitely. Alrighty, switching gears here. Over here on this left side, that dark gray column, down at the bottom, it says marketing. CleverRx has, let's go ahead and switch slides here. They have marketing materials that are completely free. Right now, we're going to take a look at the left side of the screen. We'll get to the cards, the right side here in just a minute. But that left side, you can see all those different flyers. They have a ton of pre-made flyers. I know their marketing team has a blast because they're super fun. As you can see that donut one, it's just, they're really fun. And so they're eye-catching, which is cool. They have lots of different sorts of flyers on there. There's much more than just what we have here, but you have flyers that you can personalize and put in those veterinarian, why is that such a hard word to say? Veterinarian offices, how to use CleverRx, about CleverRx, and they even have a cool one here for senior agents that explains how CleverRx works with tackles that donut hole, the coverage gap. So that's a pretty cool thing. Just go on there, you can search through all the different marketing flyers. Like I said, they're free. They're pre-made. You just download those PDFs. You do print them yourself, so you download those PDFs, personalize it, put your name on there, your group and member IDs, and then you can start printing those out and handing those places.
Yeah, tackling the donut hole is kind of my favorite one that I see there.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, ramping up to AEP, might be doing more educational events where you're talking about the donut hole, teaching people about Medicare, and that might not be something they're aware of. And so this is a good way to kind of introduce that product, talk to them about programs like this. And you're not necessarily selling them anything. So you're more talking about the idea of a discount program and the idea of, hey, this is something you might run into with the donut hole. Here's a good way to combat that.
Absolutely. Also, another thing that you can do is you can add these to blogs, like online. You don't necessarily have to print them out. You can link them places. You can add them to blogs. So also keep that in mind as well. Now we're going to shift gears over there to that right side of the page, the cards. Now, this is a marketing material, and that's why you have it on the slide, but don't be confused. This is not something you can order or print off of from your partner portal, which is the website we just saw, that back end. If you want to order cards, like we've been talking about this whole time, if you want to purchase some of those cards, give Senior Marketing Specialist a call. We'll send over a Google Doc or a Google form, and it's really simple. You just fill that out, and then that's how you order them. It's very, very simple, but you can't order those through your partner portal. Give Senior Marketing Specialist a call.
Gotcha. We can help out with that for sure.
And like we said, those are the only optional costs. We just want to make sure, I know we're kind of beating a dead horse there, but it's the only optional cost, and it's very low. And a lot of seniors still like to use cards. Maybe you might have some clients that still really don't have smartphones or anything. Cards are a really good option for that.
Yeah, I know my grandma, she likes to magnet a lot of her business cards of people she works with on her fridge.
Yeah.
So there'll be the business card, your CleverRx card, probably the AC guy, just a few people that she normally calls because she doesn't have a smartphone, but she's got her little flip phone that she goes with. So that's a nice, easy way to keep your name over and over in front of the client. Definitely gonna be something that endears them to you. And they might have a family member who's about to age in, and you'll be able to be like, oh yeah, no, they saved me money on this, and then be able to help that client as well. It just really helps that referral base. Definitely something we see a lot with.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, that's all the information that we have for you. Now, in presentation form, now we're going to go ahead and take questions, comments, threats or promises, as Mike and Olivia always say. Go ahead and put them in those questionnaire boxes here. We already have a couple here. Howard is asking, can a nonprofit be set up as a distributor, and what is the override with the downline?
So I'm not honestly sure about the setting up a nonprofit as a distributor. Since this normally goes through agents, I'd want to talk to kind of our key partnership side, see if that is something they've run into in the past. Because in my head, it sounds like a good idea, but I honestly just don't know enough. I'd have to talk with the team over there on that side.
And then Joe is asking, how much money do you make? How much money do you make your downline per each downline person's per client's basis?
So that's something that's completely set up by you. So let's just say you're set up at $1 just for a nice flat number. You want to set your downline up at 80 cents. So you're making that 20-cent override on that. And again, those are such small amounts that we're telling you, not going to make you a millionaire, but that is something you can decide on your own of how much you want to pay them for that. Really is a good way to kind of incentivize people to make sure their clients are using this. But again, this is just a step in the process. Obviously, you'll want their main insurance product. You'll want to be setting up on their PDP. You'll want to be looking at all their different ancillary needs. And I almost consider this another ancillary need as your portfolio. Another way to cross-sell without actually selling them something. This is just something you're giving that client, but it's definitely a product that I would say needs to be in everyone's portfolio, needs to be brought up on every appointment if they're not already set up with a program like this. Just as another step of you're checking this every time. You're wanting to look into this. I could pull up a drug, look it up in 15 seconds. People like that kind of instant gratification to see, okay, coupon, did it work? No? Okay, no harm, no foul.
Exactly. Yeah, it's some of the stories that we've heard, it's so easy to bring it up and they can decide to use it or not, but it really can be life-changing. It's really something that you want in your portfolio. We have heard stories of in the office here of people, their lives, literally like thousands, not kidding, thousands of dollars saved. And we get an update on the numbers that we hear sometimes, and it's just unreal how much people are saving with this. It's changing lives. And so hopefully as an agent, you get to experience some of those huge moments for people whenever they realize that, you know, they can save even more than what they thought with their insurance. It's very, very cool.
And you'll for sure hear those stories. Because I've had a coworker in the office here told me his grandma took one, I think it was like $400 every 3 months or something, but Clever got it down to like 125. Huge difference. And what we, you know, as an agent, we're trying to help that client find more coverage. You just freed up almost $200-300 worth of revenue to pull in an extra product. So maybe that client is, you know, obviously unhealthy. They're taking some kind of very expensive drug. You can try to find a way to reallocate that money that they've been spending every 3 months to see, hey, maybe you need a cancer plan to make sure that we're covering this part. Or you've got this MA plan, maybe we should look into a hospital indemnity product to be able to offer that to your clients as well.
That's awesome.
Because you just save them that much money per month or every 3 months, however they're doing that.
Yeah.
But you're really just looking out for, okay, I save this money here, how can we reallocate that? And that's a huge point. Reallocate those funds to get them additional coverage. They're used to spending that amount, and you're really just taking care of them that extra step by being able to provide even more coverage for them.
Definitely, yeah. And think of the loyalty that you'll get from your clients whenever you can help them with something like that. It's really, really awesome. Okay, let's see. We have someone asking, do I have to set up through my upline? Is there a way I can do it without them? That's not something I'm sure of.
So upline as in, if you have an upline you're working with and they don't want to work with that, then yeah, a lot of uplines will say, hey, no, you go ahead and sign up with that. You're going to be our person for CleverRx. But if your upline wants to get set up with it, obviously that's something we're going to respect here, and we're not going to step on any toes of that upline to say, no, we're going to go ahead and set you up anyway. Definitely is the conversation to have with your upline, see if they want it, see if they want you to be the point person on it, and kind of we can go from there. And I saw a question about personalizing the flyers. I do believe the PDFs have editable PDFs where you can put in your personal information there.
Yep, you'll be able to download those PDFs. I think all of them you can personalize. Maybe there might be a couple that don't need any personalization on it, but I believe that you can with all of them.
There'll be contact info at least on
Yeah, absolutely, in your name. So that way, whenever you put these flyers, people know who they're from. But yeah, they'll be personalized, just PDF. You download it and print it out. Really easy. And I believe you personalize it after you download the PDF, just to be clear. Let's see. If we place an order for the cards, how soon will they be sent out?
That's a good question. It's not Amazon fast, but it's snail mail style. So I would still give it a week or two, but honestly, just not super sure. Becky, I'll find that out for you and let you know for sure. I'm gonna steal your pen and take that.
Sure, of course. We have someone asking, how much do you make as an agent level or an insurance brokerage level? Is it $1 per client or customer?
So no, it depends on the agency setup. Agency levels, I'd have to double check my sheet to see exactly what they were, but we can go over that together for you, no problem.
If you have some of those kind of questions, typically we don't discuss those on webinars, but like you said, he does have a sheet, he could anyway, but give us a call and we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more. Yeah, as well. Alrighty, well, if we don't have any more questions, if you do, last minute questions, go ahead and put it in that box before we get out of here, but we will give you your time back. If you had to jump off for a second, please join us again later. We'll also have a recording as well and that follow-up email, some resources as well. We have a video on our YouTube page that I'll link there, and it will have a walkthrough of how to use the app. It'll be a little bit more in depth, so that way you can watch that video. And what's the best number to call you at? I'm so glad you asked. You have it right here. Thank you all so much. You can call us at 800-689-2800. Again, look out for that email. I'll also have our contact information on there. You can check out our website, smsteam.net. But hopefully you all learned something today. Hopefully you all were inspired today. Hopefully we will be talking to you all soon. Further the conversation, get you all set up with this. But yeah, it doesn't look like we have any more questions, so we'll give you your morning back.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all.